Hello folks, welcome to the in-stock electric car lease deals for July 2024. The link to LeaseLoco is in the video description, so please click on that. All the deals in this one, I think, are 3 years, 3 months up front, 10,000 mile deals. And don't forget, if you go to my website, you can book a call if you want to talk about anything car related. Let's crack on. So the first one's the Corsa E, a car we've seen lots of times in these videos. This one's in ultimate spec. 759 up front and 253 a month, 214 miles of range, insurance group 28 and 267 litres of boot space. Now the figures on this only go back to February because it had a bit of a midlife facelift, but the average on it's been 523 quid. That's obviously for the ultimate spec. Back in February, 647. At its peak, 693. I mean, it's crazy. No one would have paid that for a Corsa E, I'm sure. But this is the lowest price we've seen it so far this year, £253.17. Little Corsa, cheap, practical enough, little EV, would do the job for a lot of people. If you want more practicality, you've got the Citroen EC4X. So this is the bigger version of the EC4. You just get a bigger boot, 510 litres. And you get this sort of swoopy roof line at the back. 223 miles of range, insurance group 22. 510 litres of boot space, and then price history on that one, 680 has been the average, 902 at its peak, currently 289, which is the lowest price we've seen it in that particular trim level. If you want the slightly smaller version, by the way, it's £2 a month more. It's the EC4. This one's the E Series 50 kilowatt hour, 221 miles of range and 380 litres of boot space. Okay, the Kona Electric. I always say this is like the thinking man's EV. If you want a car that just does everything and it's going to be pretty brilliant, it's this one. Kona Electric Advance, 340 quid a month with just over £1,000 up front, 319 miles of range, 218 brake horsepower, 466 litres of boot space, and a 0 to 62 time of 7.8 seconds. Average on that's been £442 a month. This time last year it was 647, currently 340, and of course it's in this video and that means it's in stock. Folks, if you're thinking about leasing a car, don't forget to go and check out ALA Insurance for your gap insurance. If you're not aware, gap insurance sits there to protect you in the event that your car's written off by an insurance company. That could be because of an accident, fire, theft, flood, etc. If you lease a car and it's written off, the lease company will ask you for a settlement amount. And if your insurance company payout doesn't cover that full amount, the gap insurer will step in and make up the difference. To give you an idea of pricing, I've just looked at a brand new Tesla at £40,000 on a £600 a month lease deal with £2,000 initial payment cover and £250 excess contribution towards your car insurance excess. The price for that, for 3 years cover, is £115. That's not per year or per month, that's it. However, if we change this discount code to Jim10, bring it down to £109 for 3 years gap insurance on a Tesla, and you're covered up to 40 grand. So head on over to ala.co.uk and don't forget to use the code Jim10. Now the ID.3, something interesting happened on this. I did a special one-off video because there were some stonking deals on this earlier in the week, and a couple of people got in touch, 2 different people got in touch to say they'd got through to the broker and the broker told them that they'd forgot to put VAT on the pricing. Now that could be a genuine mistake, but I urge you, if ever that happens on any of these, please call LeaseLoco and let them know, or send them an email and let them know, because that could be a genuine mistake, but it could be someone that's trying to sort of fish for a few leads and try and upsell someone on the phone. So if that happens and someone says, oh, sorry, we forgot to put the VAT on it, just get in touch with LeaseLoco, please. VW ID.3 Pro Comfort Spec, £360 a month with £1,100 up front. So that pretty much is that deal we were looking at the other day, plus VAT. So it could well be a genuine mistake. 385 litres of boot space, insurance group 25, 204 brake horsepower and 266 miles of range. 539's been the average on that. 590 at its peak, and this is the lowest price we've seen it if you take that VAT correction out of things. £360 and 61 pence. not being funny, but for 360 quid a month, that's really quite a practical car. You've got nearly 400 litres of boot space. You've got 266 miles of range. This facelifted ID.3 corrects some of the issues that were present in the first one. And it's really not a bad car for that kind of money. I dare say it's going to depreciate a lot more than you're going to pay on it as well. ID.4, so this is a much bigger car, 543 litres of boot space, but you've got lower range in this one, 223 miles. You can get a higher range version, but at the moment the lease price on it is pretty rubbish, having been quite good some time ago. Yes, 160 quid a month more, just not worth it. £366 a month, which is a bargain on this. It's £6 more than the ID.3. Yes, you're losing a bit of range, but you've got so much more car for your money. Average on it 565. This time last year it was 498. At its peak it was 645. As you can see, it was 645 for a good 6 months there, 7 months even. Currently £366 a month with £1,100 up front. Skoda Enyaq. So this is a slightly longer range version of that ID.4. It's quite a lot more money, but a lot of people prefer the look of the Enyaq. £1,358 up front and £452 a month. £501 a month has been the average, so we're just under the average. Nothing sort of to get too excited about. £720 a month at its peak. It has been as low as £411. It's currently £452 with £1,358 up front. Again, big boot, not bad insurance group, decent range. There's a lot going for that Enyaq. Now look at this. It gets better, folks. This is the ID.7, and this is a gargantuan, big, luxurious saloon car. The Match Pro, this one, £468 a month with £1,400 up front. But this one's got 382 miles of range, 286 brake horsepower, 532 litres of boot space, and 0 to 62 in 6.5 seconds. If you haven't seen the ID.7 yet, just think electric Passat, basically, because essentially that's what we're looking at. It's a nice, good-looking thing. I think you can soak the miles up in that in style, and as you can see, it's a really good-sized boot as well. £468 a month with £1,400 up front. Just to give you an idea of how good that price is, first we'll look at the history. So it's only been out since January. It was £1,000 a month in January. £1,000 a month. The average on it's been 600, currently 468. But look at this. If we look at the ID.7 Tourer, and again it's Match Pro, so this is just the estate version of the same car. It's £542 a month. So you're saving about 80 quid a month by having the saloon, and that just shows you what a good price that is. This one, by the way, is a factory order. It's not in stock. I'm just giving you an example of what the price differential is at the moment, so you can see what a great price the saloon car is. So £1,400 up front, £468 a month. Nissan Ariya, this is that top spec. It's the big battery. It's the E-Force automatic Sky pack. 319 miles of range on this one, 0 to 62 in 5.7. Good looking thing, lovely thing to drive, brilliant interior. £474 a month with £1,424 up front. Average on it's been 604. At its peak 848, currently 474. Polestar 2. I've actually got one of these being delivered today for review. So that's coming up on my channel soon. I dare say the last one was so brilliant, and all they've done really is given it a facelift and given it more range and made a couple of things a little bit better. So I dare say it's going to be a very similar review to the last one. And that is good, because this is a very special car. It's the long range version with the Pilot pack. That gets you 406 miles of range, insurance group 41, 405 litres of boot space, and 6.1 seconds to 62. £1,499 up front and £499 a month. So 500 quid a month, 1,500 quid up front, gets you in one of those. Average price on it, 694. At its peak, 800, and it's only been 20 quid a month less than this at its lowest point. Don't forget as well, this is in stock, so you're not going to have a long wait on it. It's a brilliant, brilliant car. Very worthy to be called, you know, Tesla Model 3 rival, an IONIQ 6 rival, and BYD Seal rival. It's fantastic, and it can more than hold its own in that kind of company. Ford Mustang Mach-E is next, the select rear-wheel drive 70 kilowatt hour version. So this is 273 miles of range. Obviously, you can get one with a lot more range. 273 is not too shabby though. Insurance group 37, 269 brake horsepower. 621 quid a month has been the average, and at its lowest point it was £3 a month less than it is now, and it's in stock. £507 a month with 1,521 up front. Volvo C40 Recharge Twin Plus all-wheel drive auto, 491 quid a month with 1,474 up front. Average on that's been 733. At its peak 918, currently 491. I haven't driven one of these yet or even sat in one, so I can't talk about it too much. Volvo don't seem to want to send me any cars for review, so I can't tell you much about it. But it doesn't look dissimilar to my old Volvo XC40. We know the build quality is going to be exceptional. So it's probably quite a nice thing. 733 a month on average, currently 491 with 1474 up front. Look at this, the IONIQ 5N. I'm really surprised this has made it to one of the videos because I didn't expect to see any deals on these whatsoever. And it's still a cartload of money. You know, that's still a mortgage payment for a lot of people. But if you were going to go and drop 60 grand on buying one of these, you're probably one of the people that can afford it. £2,500 up front, more or less, 2,400 actually, 804 a month, 278 miles of range, 650 brake horsepower, 480 litres of boot space, insurance group 49, and 3.4 seconds to 62. If you haven't seen the video yet where I took this around the track at Millbrook, please go and watch it. The car's a complete and utter hooligan. I've got one coming for review at the end of August, so I'll do a proper, sort of more sensible review on the car then. But it's just an absolute game changer, this thing. For all the people that are just fixed on petrol cars and the true sort of petrol heads, Hyundai have given them something here to basically try and convert them, because they're playing to all the things the petrol head wants. It's got gears you can use if you want. You can just stick it in drive, but you can use these sort of false gears, and you would never know they're not real gears. It's incredibly well engineered, incredibly well designed, and I love it. Anyway, you can get one for 800 quid a month with 2,400 up front. Now, the big monster of a Kia EV9 is on a bit of a deal at the moment. Again, it's big money, but these are big money cars. 2,700 quid up front and just under 900 quid a month. 313 miles of range, 378 horsepower, 333 litres of boot space is quoted, but that's with all the rows of seats up. You can get this in 6-seat and 7-seat configs. This one is the 6-seat version, which is probably what I would go for because it's just mega spacious inside in that 6-seat config. Price history on that one, £1,100 a month has been the average. At its peak, 1,427, and its lowest point was 15 quid less than this, and that was yesterday. It's £895 a month with 2,687 up front. Finally, we've got the Audi e-tron GT Quattro, £956 a month with 2,869 up front. It's Audi's version of the Porsche Taycan. I prefer the look of it, actually. 303 miles of range, insurance group 50, 405 litres of boot space, and 530 brake horsepower. That gets you a 0 to 62 of 4.1 seconds. 981 has been the average on it, and its peak 1,258, currently 956. Folks, please use that link to LeaseLoco if you're interested in any of these deals, or indeed if you just want to have a look around on LeaseLoco. And please support our sponsors, ALA Insurance. Don't forget to use that code JIM10 to get yourself a nice discount of pretty much anything on their site. By the way, I will be at the Pistonheads annual service on the 10th of August on the ALA stand from time to time. So if you want to come and say hello, please do. There's going to be coffee there and nice things. So yeah, if you're at that event in Bicester on the 10th of August, seek me out and say hello. And please, folks, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks ever so much for watching. Go and follow me on some social medias. Thanks.